Hey YouTube, Mrlubufu, and it is time for those wonderful time of the year, spoilers. We have a few more that have been spoiled, and I'm just going to go through the picture ones that are there and a couple more that were spoiled and explain how they came about and why I was hesitant to report on them already. So, Magic official spoilers started tonight. We have our first white card reveal is Captain of the Watch. This is a fun little reprint. 6 mana, 3/3 Vigilance. Other soldiers you control have +1/+1 and have Vigilance. And when it enters the battlefield, put 3 1/1 white soldier tokens onto the battlefield. Definitely among one of my favorite white cards, especially in EDH. It's good to see it back. It's such a limited bomb, and I'm not sure what sort of role it'll play in Standard, but there are quite a few soldiers as well, so that's something to keep in mind. I already mentioned RKO Mansoor yesterday. Now we have Clone, the reprint. You can probably tell they're not bringing back Phantasmal Image, and Phyrexian Metamorph is going away. So this is going to be our 4 mana clone, which is not going to see nearly as much play as all the other ones. Servant of Nephrox I mentioned, and the big spoiler for today is this mythic called Vampire Nocturnus. I.e., for those of you who don't know, Vampire Nocturnus is so good. It's a reprint from M13 that made the vampire deck great, and it's such a beating if you're playing the vampire deck. Kind of makes me want to see if I can make it work. I'm not sure whether or not the vampires are good enough to make black-red vampires be as good, since there's lacking of a few cards, but I'm certainly going to try, because Vampire Nocturnus is a very good card. Then we have a few commons in red. Well, Chandra's Fury is the one that I already mentioned yesterday. We have Dragon Hatchling. It's a 0/1 Fire Breather, or 0/1 Flyer Fire Breathing for 2. Nothing great, nothing horrible. We have the reprint of Firewing Phoenix. It's a 4/2 Flyer for 4 that you can return it from your graveyard to your hand. It certainly goes well with cards like Tybalt and such. I mean, it's not like great with Tybalt, but yeah, it could be okay. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to see standard play. The distinct lack of haste means as a 4-drop, Koth and Hero Oxid Ridge are going away, but Hellrider is still around. Hellrider is such a beating. Next, you have a very good limited removal spell, which is going to be Flames of the Firebrand. Deals 3 damage divided as you choose among 1, 2, or 3 creatures or players. So this one's just begging to be a 2-for-1, probably not a 3-for-1, but definitely value there. We have Scorching Spear, so kind of hints that Lightning Bolt is not going to be reprinted, since here they made a 2 mana Lightning Bolt, which is considerably worse. We next have Predatory Rampage. It's a 5 mana sorcery. Creatures you control get +3/+3 until end of turn, and each creature your opponent controls blocks this turn in Fable. See, if it gave Trample, it would be so much better. Otherwise, you just make all your guys big, and if they don't have enough creatures to block, right, then you get in, but that means that they would have already not had creatures to block. So, and if they left creatures back to block, this does pretty much nothing, because it doesn't say, you know, how they have to block. So, I'm not terribly impressed with that one. And we have another green mythic, the reprint from M12, Primordial Hydra. Big, crazy, gets big really quickly. Not going to see much standard play, I don't think, but we'll see. And then, of course, we've got the wonderful lands that are reprinted. Now, there's a couple other cards that were spoiled, and these are the ones that I held back on. Arbor Elf was one. So these came from, on eBay for a little bit, someone posted a Magic 2013 Deck Builder's Toolkit, and they opened it up and showed 4 packs of cards. One had Innistrad cards, and a couple had M12 cards at the front. One of those cards was Arbor Elf, and the other, Evolving Wilds. So it was kind of sketchy to put it up here, but it seems kind of right. Arbor Elf is going to take the place of Llanowar Elves, which probably means Noble Hierarch is not going to get printed with these Exalted, which is a little bit depressing, but it is what it is. And Evolving Wilds means with Evolving Wilds, and, well, I mean, I'm not sure whether or not this is the same. I mean, we have the one in Innistrad already, or Dark Ascension, sorry. So I'm not sure why they did this. Maybe the land is, or the mana is really bad in this core set, and they just needed it for limited purposes. I don't know. Or maybe it's just wrong. Well, that's basically it for the spoilers for today. Let me know what you guys like, or if you like this sort of format. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think of M13 in the comments below.